division. I want to say it would be, if it happens,
probably the earliest.
For the earliest, I'm guessing, that anyone's ever clinched a division. It doesn't mean shit if I lose in the first round, but just saying. What else do we got here this upcoming week 11? What games stand out to you, Bubba?
Well, the first, your game is very big. I think top 2 in that division. I think my game against Brian is probably the next best game on the slate here.
Yeah.
After that, I could see, depending on if Whiffen sells or how much he sells, him against Brandon could be pretty good.
Yep. It's an important game there.
Yeah, and then even Will against Phil.
Phil needs to win. He really needs to win these games. The last time he played Will, he lost, I believe, back in week 6, 112 to 104. He's 9-8 all time against Will, so they seem to kind of go back and forth. But Phil really needs this game. But yeah, no, you're right. VIP myself against Scoopers. I mean, I guess in a way VIP really needs it more than I do. But if I want to continue the road to perfection, Bub, then I obviously want to win that game. But yeah, your game, Bubba Gump against Soul Glow. Let's see. You defeated Soul Glow the last time you guys played earlier in the year. You had yourself a glorious game, 173 to 109. That was the game that you just went off.
Yep.
And you're 5-4 up against Soul Glow, so pretty even there. What do you think? Game of the week? Bubba Gump Soul Glow or mine?
I mean, I would still put it at you. I think.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree, because you and Soul Glow both absolutely need that game. I kind of in a weird way I don't need that game. If I lose, I'm still.
I still think
fine.
That's going to be the best game though.
You think so?
Yeah.
When you say best, you mean closest or the most highest scoring game?
Highest scoring and closest. Double whammy.
All right, we'll go with you. If I had to vote, I'd go with your game. Maybe we're both being humble here. We're both humble fellas.
Yeah,
we're Riverdalians.
I think
we are Riverdalians.
I think the Lagers against Alerts is probably gonna be up there too. So
well, that game.
Let's have a 3-way tie between your game, my game, and that game.
That game may determine the last place in the division. So
I'll tell you right now, because Yellow Peril is the last place in the division right now.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think if he loses this week,
to Handiquacks,
it's gonna be close. But then again, the loser of the Lagers and Alerts will only be one game.
Sure.
So that's actually pretty exciting.
Who's gonna be getting the pizza?
Where's the pizza coming from?
Now it is time. Fucking right, it's time. So grab your balls and let's go. Coach's interview. Here we fucking go.
And now, my ass is leaking because on the Tom Berkowitz Trucking Hotline, he is a Dynasty odds maker. He is the Dynasty 7 champion. He saved the Dynasty 6 season when PJ DeFagowitz pulled a no-show. He legally wed and divorced the Dynasty Championship trophy. He hates people who drafts 3 tight ends. And he's Pierre Garçon's #1 fan. He is coach of the 3-7 Handiquacks, Coach Zach Polucha. Zach, thanks for being on the show.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good, Coach. Coming into the season, you were projected to be a kind of middle-of-the-road team. You had a couple picks that you lost from last year. You estimated to finish at 8-7. How good did you really feel coming into the season and maybe post-draft, and then kind of talk about what happened as the season went on?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have very high expectations for this year. Tell yourself that you can make something happen and maybe make a trade. But realistically, I didn't really expect to make the playoffs. After the draft, everybody's team looks good. But when you really start to analyze, what happened and what you have on your roster, you realize that with a limited amount of picks, you really have to hit on almost every single one of them. And obviously with my team, that has not been the case as far as guys like Jones-Drew and Mike Wallace and Steve Smith, Pierre Garçon, obviously, and, even Rashard Mendenhall. So, I mean, the only one that's really done anything that I expected was Doug Martin. But, when you miss on guys like that, it's pretty obvious early on that you're not going to be able to compete. And, you also look at your team and you realize that you just don't have the depth that other teams do. Your tight end is probably going to be pretty weak with that amount of picks. You have no third receiver, no fourth receiver. So when you kind of bye week or injury, you pretty much handicap yourself. So, I mean, it was pretty obvious after 3 or 4 weeks that I really didn't have much chance.
mean handiquacked yourself.
I see what you did there.
Bubba's just whipping out the jokes here today. He's just.
I like the music, by the way, Bub.
You like my what?
I like the music, the intro music.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Speaking of what you were just mentioning before, Coach, after starting the year 1-4, you did recognize early, as you mentioned, that you're not really going to be able to contend this season. How I guess has it been this year for you? It's been a little bit of a different experience for you. You thus far really had been in the the race. Last year you missed the playoffs, but you were pretty much in it almost all the way until the end. How's it been, being, I guess, a seller for you this year, and setting yourself up for next season?
Yeah, it's my first experience as a seller. I think I was pretty lucky to get some pretty good value for some of these guys. Like I said, if I had waited, I don't think I would have got anything good out of Jones Shore, or not nearly as good as I got. Guys, Mendenhall hasn't even played. I got a fifth-round pick for him. Thanks, Brian. So, there's a lot of guys on my team that if I waited 2 or 3 more weeks, I probably wouldn't have got as much. And, on the flip side, I probably could have got a little bit more out of Doug Martin if I waited, but, that's the price you pay. It was pretty much my goal going in. If I knew early on I wasn't going to compete, I wanted to be the first one to sell, try to set the market, and not let somebody else, say, for example, get a 4th-round pick for a pretty decent player. I think you could get more. If you're the first one out there, you can pretty much, make that happen on your own and what you want to get for them. So.
True. All right, Coach, I think you can probably think this one was coming here. Can you talk a little bit about the Pierre Garçon bet, please?
Yeah, I kind of handiquacked myself on that one by not adding in any kind of injury clause. The purpose of that bet was basically based on his talent level, not on his injury risk. I spoke to Heaney about this after, and obviously he's going to take my money no matter what. But, like I said, the whole point of that bet was that he didn't think he was a good receiver at all. I thought that he had the talent to have at least over 750 yards. Didn't really think that he was, after that injury, that he was going to be such a pussy and miss the whole year. But, it is what it is, I guess.
Would you say maybe the spirit of the bet was more, like you said, his talent level, as you said, instead of his, the injury. So would you call maybe Coach Chris, like a weasel if, he still goes ahead and takes your money? He's not necessarily doing the wrong thing, because you guys did bet, and like you said, you didn't put an injury clause in, but is he being a weasel maybe by taking the money? Maybe it's not the spirit of the bet that was really captured via the injury?
Well, it was a bet we made when we were both a little intoxicated, but no, I wouldn't call him a weasel.
Really?
I would take his money too if it was me. But what I do think he should do, and I'm going to kind of call him out here, is I think he should re-up the bet for next year, and let's make that same bet again.
Ooh, double or nothing. I like it.
I like that.
Give me a chance to get my money back next year with an injury clause written into that.
That's good.
I do think Pierre Garçon is easily capable of getting 1,000 yards if he plays more than half a game.
Well, even after that first game, I think he had the first game, he had 100 yards in the first quarter or something like that, right?
But I have an idea.
Yeah, I see that 80-yard touchdown catch he had, and then all of a sudden he say he hurt his foot, and I'm sitting there going, whatever, he'll be fine. He'll be good next week. And then every week it was like, well, he'll be back next week, and now it's, whatever, just get out of here.
Bub,
I don't want to see him anymore.
You want to try to get Christini on the line?
Let's
do a little Dynasty history here, and let's see if we can.
Sure.
I don't know how great the audio will be because I only have one very Radio Shack-like amateur speaker, which is plugged into my phone right now, which is how you find people there at home are hearing Zach. But let's see if we can get Chris on the line. Maybe put the volume all the way up there on your good old smartphone.
Whatever you do, don't mention Dwayne Bowe.
Yeah, Dwayne Bowe, he did not do the good job for a Monday night.
He scored a touchdown, but they called it back.
Yeah, I saw that.
Doesn't seem like he's answering.
Son of a bitch.
I'm gonna hang up.
There goes our idea.
It's good effort.
Good try. We tried.
That would have been fun.
Coach, all season you've been creating some really good league polls as the one of the Dynasty odds makers, and I know Bub and I have commented on this show how well they've done, how successful they've been, how close they've been. How do you come up with with them? I know you don't do it every week, but almost every week you seem like you do. How do you come up with them?
Yeah, I pretty much try to get a new coach involved every week. I'll go to someone's team and take a look and see what they got. And usually I like to take a player that